Salute to all the diehards. This is Diehard Giants Live, and I am your host. I am Terrell on IG and Twitter. Guess what, people? This might be the shortest video that I've ever made. Like, there's nothing really to report. I see Dwayne in the chat. Salute to my guy, Dwayne. Salute. Hold on, let me get you up here. Yeah, salute Dwayne. That's my guy. He's here every week. Salute to whoever else coming here. I see Wonder. Hold on, I see Wonder Woman. Why did it pop up? I see it on YouTube. It didn't pop up on here. Here we go. Hold on. Hey, we got Steph in it. Steph, you good? You ready? All right, we got Steph in the building. Hold on. Steph, what's happening? I didn't even know you was coming on.
This is the rules for engagement right now. I'm not looking at the chat, and Jarrell, you can't say nothing about the game.
Okay.
Just nothing about the game.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is a Giants channel, but I was going to say, I'm a couple minutes late because I was watching the game, but I'm not going to say
and don't put up any comments if somebody say something about the game. Don't put it up on the screen until I leave.
I got you. I would hate for somebody to do that to me, but yeah, I'm not going to tell you nothing.
Okay. Appreciate it.
The Knicks are playing the Orlando Magic. That's it.
All right. That's it.
All right. But salute to everybody that came through, Wonder Woman and Dwayne.
Salute.
Steph, I was just saying that this might be the shortest show we've ever had because nothing really has changed. I ain't got no slides except for I got like a tankathon slide, so I can show everybody where we at when it comes to the draft. I could put up some team stats real quick. Hold
on. I do have a question though.
Mm-hmm.
When you go ahead, do what you got to do.
No, well, I was just gonna say, yeah, this is the Huddle Week 13. We lost to Dallas. Everybody saw the game. It was like the most watched Thanksgiving game in NFL history, and everybody saw us, be ourselves the way we've been playing all year. So. It was a bad game. It's nothing really like I'm gonna put the team stats up. I don't got no slides for like individual players because it really wasn't good enough for me to even do that. Right. But what were you about to say about the? You about to
no. You could finish this. It's a quarterback question.
Okay, yeah, I'm here. I'll be on here as long as anybody got any questions. Because when it comes to the game, yeah, we lost by 7 points, but it really wasn't that close. I'll put the team stats up here real quick. Yeah, they had a little over 300 yards. You see that we really didn't do anything in the air. Like we got over 100 yards on the ground, but that was a big part of Drew Lock himself. Tommy DeVito did not play. He had an injured forearm and overall soreness. They said like he got pretty beat up. It was his first game in like almost a calendar year, so he got pretty beat up pretty bad. He didn't play. Drew Lock was the starting quarterback, and he played like Drew Lock would normally play if you actually followed his career. He's not a starting quarterback either. We didn't really look good on offense or defense. Our defense got ran on, especially in the second half. Dexter Lawrence, unfortunately, is done for the year. He dislocated his elbow, I believe, it was either at the end of the third or the beginning of the fourth quarter. So Dexter Lawrence, our number one player on the team and the best defensive player, maybe in the league, almost had double-digit sacks this year. He would have got there if he would have kept playing, but he ended up with 9 on the year, and there's no more sexy Dexy. Another big blow to us. Well, I guess maybe not a big blow, but he was our second leader receiver last game versus Dallas is Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson is done for the year. All I heard was a foot injury, and that was it. I didn't get the specifics of it, but they're pretty much shelving him for the year too. So I'm not exactly sure if these players, say we was in a playoff hunt, would they be back? But since, the playoffs, we've already been eliminated from the playoffs. We was the first team eliminated this past week. But there's no hope for the season, so I am fully on board with them just shelving them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was pretty much it. Yeah, like every time I come on here, I always talk about time of possession, penalties, and stuff like that. Third down. as you can see, they beat us in every category. We had the only 2 turnovers in the game. They beat us by time of possession by a few minutes, but it was, let's just say, the game actually looked way worse than these stats did. So overall, I believe we're the worst team in the league, man. Like that's all I can really say that I didn't say last week about the GM and coach. I think they're fighting for their lives, especially Brian Dable. I really don't think he'll survive, but
Mm.
I think they both should go, especially if Brian Dable goes, Joe Shane could go with him. But if they decide to keep both, I'll be shocked. But
Mhm.
never know with our owner. Our owner came out and said that he wants camaraderie for the first time ever, and he's not going to make any brash decisions. But firing them at this point with only 2 wins, that wouldn't be a brash decision to me. So
Who was that? Was it Chicago? Which team fired their head
yes,
coach?
yes, it was
Chicago.
Chicago. They just fired their head coach, I believe. See, Chicago was always a bad franchise for the most part. They had a few years with the defense in the '80s, and they got to the Super Bowl one time in the '90s. Or, I mean, not the early 2000s against Peyton Manning. But overall, Chicago has been a losing franchise for most of
Mhm.
their existence. So even lately, you could tell that they don't know what they're really doing. Like they drafted a quarterback #1 overall, but kept their head coach
Mhm.
after losing all those games. I kind of have a feeling that will happen to us next year. Like if Brian Dable holds on to his job
Mhm.
just because the owner don't want to get rid of anybody, which would be kind of weird. Say if we draft Shador or Cam Ward in the next draft, that don't mean Brian Dable's job is safe if we keep on losing. So
Right.
we'll see how that goes. You say you had a quarterback question?
Nah, it's all right.
You're
It's it's
like
all
that.
right.
You sound sad, Steph. You sound sad.
I mean, we two and whatever. It don't matter what
Mhm.
quarterback they put out there, Drew Lock or DeVito. It don't
Oh, you meant like the quarterback going forward?
matter. Yeah.
Well, let's just say this. I think Drew Lock is a more professional quarterback than Tommy DeVito. Do I think either one of them are starters in the NFL? Hell no. And Tommy DeVito, I don't think he should be in the NFL at all.
Right. Not even on the bench.
No, no,
Not
no.
even like third. Okay.
No, maybe scout team or like practice squad, maybe. But
Mhm.
if I was him, I'd try to go to like the CFL or something like that. I think if I'm glad that he latched on with this team. He is a Jersey native, so he's a local kid that was undrafted. But
Right.
going forward, say if we cut him, I don't see anybody picking him up. Let's just say that. So if he does remain the starter for the rest of the year,
Mhm.
you know that the tank is coming. I thought the tank was here just because they had him starting in the first place and just
Right.
leapfrog Drew
Right.
Lock
Right.
after paying him $5 million. So
Right.
uh, I don't get me wrong, it's not like they leapfrog somebody that was good or serviceable, but Drew Lock for the most part, I think he would just have a lot of turnovers for the rest of the season. And I don't think he'll be very good. I hope we don't like back into a couple wins just to ruin our
Oh
draft
no.
stock, just like
Right.
last year. Because
Right.
I have a feeling that is what might happen, especially the last week of the year. I think we play the Eagles, and it's just like the Eagles that will mess up and sit all their players, and they're like, they're either going to be the #1 or the 2 seed, as of right now. So if
They
we
said all
play
they
them,
players, they still better than we are.
and that's saying something.
And that's saying something, right?
And that's saying something. So, yeah. So I guess it depends on how embarrassed you want to be. Do you want to lose? Do you want to lose to our arch rivals' backups, or do you want the number
Right.
one pick in the draft, or at least the number? We can't drop past 3. Let's just say that if we drop past 3, then we won't get a quarterback, or if we do get one of them, it'll cost an arm and a leg to go up
Right.
to get them.
Right. Right. Um, I didn't even know there was two other teams, 2-10. I didn't even know
Oh
the
yeah.
Giants had competition.
Yo, you get it almost that you could tell that. Don't get me wrong. Like I said before, players don't tank, but Las Vegas just gave away their game against the Kansas City Chiefs this past weekend. I was pissed. Like they had the ball close. All they had to do was a field goal. And why the center snapped the ball when the quarterback wasn't looking, so it ended up being a fumble, and Kansas City recovered it in the last seconds of the game. Game over. And they would have lost by 1 point if they would. All you had to do was snap the ball.
Right.
Because they got down the field goal range and actually spiked it to stop the clock. So I think they was just going to do one more like running play up the middle or maybe to the left, for the hash for the whoever kicker, whatever hash mark he likes, whether it's left or the right or maybe right there in the middle. It all depends on your kicker. So sometimes teams will just have a running play just so the running back can get there, fall down. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a play just like that. And they lost the game on a failed snap. So that's how bad they are. Jacksonville just had their franchise quarterback hurt again. He was hit late sliding and he was concussed, and I think they might shelve him for the season. Right. So those two teams, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't win another game for the rest of the year, just like us. So we have to stay winless in order for us to get to number one.
Right.
To me, say we slip up and win 2 more games, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, and they do go like the SOS on the side. That's on strength of schedule.
Okay.
So I don't know why that is how it is, but that's the reason we're third. Because we have the highest strength of schedule out of the 3 teams with 2 losses, with 2 wins, I should say. So, other than that, unless you got any questions, Steph, or anybody got any questions in the chat, I said this is going to be a short show. There's nothing really to all of these for the rest of the season will be short shows. There's no point of doing like slides and stuff like that unless something major happens, like say somebody gets fired or some type of big news. Like unless it's an injury, will be no more player news for the rest of the season.
Right.
And I'm gearing up for the draft. But I have so long to do that. There's no point of doing any type of homework now. I've already watched every Colorado game, and I've watched about 7 Miami games. Like I've been waiting for this. So I'm gonna definitely talk about Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward probably towards the end of the season, probably after the season, like when the season ends, so I can definitely know which pick that we have. Because if we get the 4th pick, I might do profiles on both of them, but we might not get either one of them.
Right. Yeah.
That's all. Well, Steph, any last words? I don't know if you got any questions or anything.
No, shout out to you, being consistent. The Giants are a hot mess, and you still on your grind. So shout out to you, and shout out to everybody joining us in the chat.
Oh, thank you. Let me get this out of here. Yeah. So thank you, Steph, for coming. You said no show on Thursday. You're being Wednesday tomorrow night.
We're going tomorrow. Right? We're gonna do a 20-game review. Jarrell kept saying, "Wait till 20 games. Wait till 20 games." We'll probably be 21 games after tonight, but still, yeah.
21 games after tonight. I'm not telling you what's happening because I'm actually watching it right now on the side.
Don't tell me, Jarrell.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Check us out on Dope Soul. Tomorrow night at 9:00, we'll have the 21 game review. And salute to everybody in the chat. Dwayne, Wonder Woman, y'all. The 2 of you come here every week. It's much appreciated. Love y'all. Y'all have a good week. I see you next week.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.